I love that this is our new filming set in our kitchen.
Because my room is so messy. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we are going to be doing a spoiler review of Thor Love and Thunder. First, some quick non-spoilery thoughts. We both really liked it.
Yeah.
It was very funny, very visually pleasing to look at, and an overall good time. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but you're gonna go into the theater, you're gonna have a good time throughout the whole movie and leave feeling happy. So what more could you want?
Just a good old Marvel film.
And now you should leave the video if you haven't seen it yet, because we are going to be getting into all the spoilers and you don't want to be spoiled for things because that's sad and that sucks.
Yeah.
We just saw the movie last night and like I said, it was a lot of fun. It was very, very funny, very reminiscent of Ragnarok in that way. This movie was like just under 2 hours, and while I think they did good with the pacing, I do kind of think it would have benefited from maybe like 30 more minutes.
I agree.
To kind of flesh out some of the storylines, especially with like Jane's cancer storyline, the Gorr storyline. I just think it would have maybe all come together a little bit better. But yeah, there's a rumor there's a Taika cut out there that's like 4 hours long, and I can definitely see that because I think each section of this movie could have been expanded to a lot more.
I think we talked about this in our Doctor Strange review, our most recent one. Marvel's getting to the point where these movies are needing to be long. Like there's so much to go over.
Either long or have like a Disney Plus show that goes along with it.
There's so much like information now that they're throwing at you, and it's hard to like cover every point of it in only like 2 hours or a little under 2 hours. So I feel like the Marvel universe is getting to the point where these movies have to be like
they
have to be 2.5 to 3 hours.
Fleshed out a little more.
Which we wouldn't mind. We would love a 3-hour Thor movie.
I think I saw in an interview somewhere where Taika said that this movie was very camp, and he was 100% right. Like this movie was camp. I don't understand.
The like screaming goat things.
The bow.
Like the bow?
Like, can we talk about this, please?
Thor just full on being naked, like at one point.
Oh my god, his tattoos.
Yeah, the Loki tattoos were so funny.
So this movie was just crazy. I absolutely loved the cameos of having Matt Damon and what's the Hemsworth brother?
I don't remember his name.
I'm sorry.
The third Hemsworth.
The third Hemsworth. So sorry about this.
We'll look up your name.
But I love how they had them return to do the play about Loki and Thor, and then having freaking Melissa McCarthy come in.
The whole theater was like, "What is happening?"
We lost our minds. We're like,
so
you have to be kidding me.
Her husband, also was like in the crew for the play too. Like it was so funny.
It was perfect. And my favorite, they freaking confirmed Daryl in the MCU. They made him full on canon. He shows up in this movie a couple of times, and I was so happy. I was like, yes, Daryl, get that screen time.
Because he was the tour, like one of the tour guides, or
he was like, he was working in New Asgard or something, which. Oh my god, I loved it so much. I would love if they did another short, maybe like where Thor is like getting him the job there or something. But anyway, let's get into the nitty gritty now. So first, let's talk about Thor, considering this is his new movie. Chris Hemsworth did a really, really good job. He always does, but in like recent years, he's just become such a comedic genius where everything he says is funny.
He's hilarious. Like, you can't not love him. Like, everyone loves Thor because he's just such a like lovable guy.
He used to like not be one of my favorite characters in like phase 1 or phase 2 of the MCU, but since the like reimagining of his character with Taika Waititi, he's just so perfect and he kills it every time. I loved all of the bits in this. I loved him with the Guardians. I loved him with Mjolnir and Stormbreaker and how they were like his ex. That was another part of the movie I bet is definitely longer in the 4-hour cut, like the Guardians of the Galaxy section, because that was very, very short.
It was short.
But it was still nice to like see them for that brief time.
Yeah, because we love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, very
we love that crew.
And he fits with them.
He does. Well. Yeah, he fully does.
I liked seeing him struggling with this whole fact that he has had so many people die in his life, which is so depressing, which made the Jane thing like even more depressing. So yeah, I liked his arc of this movie of like going through that, like learning that like yes, it hurts to lose these people, but it's more important that you like had the time with them and that you got to love them.
Yeah.
And then of course the whole like him becoming a father thing, we'll get into that, but loved it.
Thor really has become such like a comfort character, where like Megan was saying, like in phase 1 I didn't really like I've always loved Thor, you know, he's Thor, but he's really become like just such a loving, like lovable character.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm excited to see where they take his character next, whether that's like with a Thor 5, which they did seem to be setting up, or in a next Avengers movie or something. More Thor. Why not?
More Thor.
More Thor. Speaking of more Thor, let's talk about Jane Foster, aka Dr. Jane Foster, aka the Mighty Thor. Oh, okay.
She's so cool. She is such a badass.
I knew going into this movie, just because I am familiar with like certain YouTubers that talk about the comics and stuff, and so I knew going into this movie that the cancer storyline was probably going to get brought up, but I was not prepared. It was very sad.
It was really sad to watch. It was also weird like seeing, now obviously it was like makeup and stuff, but it was like scary seeing her like so sick.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they used some CGI, which was really impressive, like because it looked very realistic. Of her looking sick, and I liked that like we got a little bit of Kat Dennings.
I love Kat Dennings
in there. It was a tiny little scene, but I love her.
Yeah.
But yeah, just this like very tragic story of this brilliant scientist who can't cure herself. And I loved seeing the relationship of Jane and Thor, like getting to see those scenes of them.
Yes, in the past,
Because we didn't really get to see any of them being like actually like a happy couple. So that was really cool, and I've never really necessarily cared that much about their relationship before, but seeing those, I was like, oh, okay, wait, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, it was because they were so perfect. It was just like, both of them seemed like they're self-destructive in a way, which like was really sad to watch, because they both just like didn't prioritize their relationship. So it's sad to know that they like ran out of time in a sense, which was really sad. Just another loss for Thor.
Yeah, so the hammer Mjolnir like cured her, but also was making her sicker. Yeah. So, but she freaking was badass when she was wielding that thing.
Yeah,
oh my
she
God.
was.
The Mighty Thor. Pop off, queen. Her muscles, she said.
Yeah, oh my God, she was so.
She got jacked.
So fit.
I was like, okay, Natalie Portman.
Yeah, go up, queen.
I think Natalie Portman did really good with it, and I'm hoping we see more of her.
I think we will.
We'll talk about the after credit scenes.
Yeah.
This film was also gay.
Super gay.
I love gay. So Valkyrie, it's been like talked about before that Valkyrie is like a part of the LGBT community.
She's
but
rolling
this
with the
time
LGBT.
They really sold that she was rolling with the LGBT.
Yeah.
She was talking about her past girlfriend and like wanting that love again, but not really thinking like she's gonna be able to find it. She had some flirtations going.
Yeah.
Oh my God, her fits in this movie.
Her fits were so cool.
So good. She's so badass.
She's so cool.
I love her. I loved seeing her be king. Even though she didn't necessarily like all the diplomatic stuff that went along with it, I just think she was like the perfect king. I'm hoping we see more of her soon. I think there's a possibility she could show up in like the Marvels movie, because a lot of people ship her and Carol Danvers, and I think that would be a really
sick.
A really good.
Yeah.
And that movie is very cosmic. She's obviously cosmic, so I could see her being tied in somewhere. And then also, Korg was confirmed gay.
Yes, dude, that was so funny when he was
unexpected.
When he was talking about how he was created, and then at the end having him and Dwayne The Rock figure like making him. It was so
I wish I'd actually
funny.
gotten Dwayne The Rock Johnson to do
oh my God, that would have been so funny.
But still, yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, I just loved how nonchalant it was, and he was just like, yeah, my dad's created me over a pile of lava, and that's how I was born. And we were like, okay.
Okay, dude.
Okay, pop off.
Go off.
Love him. He's a great addition.
Yeah. Oh my God, when we thought he died for a second,
I was like, don't.
Someone like was weeping. Someone in the theater was literally like, ah, and I was like, oh my God.
Not Korg.
No.
Yeah, he's a great addition. I love him.
He's so funny.
So the villain of this movie was Gorr the God Butcher, and didn't know a lot about him going into this movie. Just knew that like he wanted to kill all gods. And I thought his backstory was really interesting, and that was another part of the story I think probably could have been fleshed out better with a longer cut. But I thought it was really interesting of him praying to to the gods for help and learning like the gods don't really give a shit. And that's how his daughter dies and all this stuff. So I thought his motivations were actually really good. I was not expecting that.
It makes you like feel bad because he was scary. Like
he was horrible.
He was really scary. Yeah, like I didn't like that. But it makes you like really feel bad for him and understand where he's coming from. Not that what he was doing was okay.
Yeah, but like
it makes you feel for him. Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's always more compelling when it's that rather than just like I want to kill and conquer all.
And he was really only doing it for his daughter. So
and like he was corrupted by like the necro sword and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really cool character. Unfortunately, he died because I think that could have been a cool villain to come back to. But I liked him. Would have liked to see more of him. But yeah, I thought Christian Bale did a really good job with the character.
Yeah,
he was scary.
Very scary.
The shadows and stuff, like
the shadows were scary and like the shadow monsters that came out of I
mean, but this whole movie visually was super compelling with his black and white realm. That whole fight was so cool, and the way like little bits of light of color would come in off of Stormbreaker or Mjolnir or anything like that was so cool. So Gorr kidnaps the kids of Asgard. Was not expecting that plot
Me neither,
line.
no.
And Heimdall's son was like a part of this group as well, so that was cool that he has a son and like got his abilities carried on. But it was so funny when the kids are wielding the weapon.
Yeah, and then like one of them was using a stuffed animal, like teddy bear.
That part was so funny. So Gorr makes a wish for his daughter to be alive again, but Gorr is dying, and so he like pleads with Thor to watch after his daughter. And when she first appears, she looks like the god of eternity. So she had like the space stuff. So I think that's maybe where her powers come from. But yeah, so Thor adopts her and like becomes her dad, and I was not expecting that at all, but he is the perfect father.
No, he really is. He really is.
Like he sold that. Just found this out. She was played by Chris Hemsworth's real daughter.
We were sitting there in the movie theater and I was like, this little girl looks so familiar. Like, I've seen this little girl before.
Chemistry. She was really good at the end there. Like, she was selling it. She was very funny.
She's a Nepo baby, and honestly, like, she's in her bag.
You have to respect the Nepo babies.
Oh, we respect all Nepo babies.
I love Nepo babies. Maybe she'll be aged up eventually and become a young Avenger or something.
That'd be really cool.
Who knows? But yeah, I loved them fighting side by side, and I loved how it wrapped up with that was why the movie is called Love and Thunder, was because of her and Thor, and I wasn't expecting that, and that was really
no, me neither.
I was like, that got me right here.
That hit us. That hit me right here.
Next, let's talk about the after credits. So, after credits number 1, we see that Zeus is actually not dead, and Zeus is played by Russell Crowe. I didn't mention this before, but he did good. He's obviously a very talented actor, but didn't have a ton to do here. But they're obviously setting him up for a future movie with freaking Hercules, played by Roy fucking Kent.
We love him. When we saw his face on that screen, we both looked at each other and we were like, shut up.
We were shut up.
Shut up. Brett Goldstein is such a king. We love him so much.
If you haven't seen Ted Lasso, what are you doing with your life?
Go watch it.
Get out of here and watch Ted Lasso. I can't ever recommend a show enough. Like,
it's so good. Brings us to tears. Like, it's such a good
moves
show.
You to laughter, to tears. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's so good.
If you've seen it, you know that Brett Goldstein is a phenomenal actor. His Roy Kent is seriously just the freaking best. He is so good. And so he totally deserves to be in the MCU. I'm so excited to see what he does. I think he's gonna make a fantastic Hercules.
Yeah.
I was saying this to Aoife yesterday, but it almost seems like, because this is phase 4, but it is almost like the phase 1 of this part of the MCU. So far, most of the stories have been like somewhat disconnected because they haven't converged yet to see what the overarching storyline is. And I mentioned that it kind of seems like they're bringing in a lot of like gods, afterlife, mythology, a lot of that sort of stuff with like Eternals, Moon Knight, like everything kind of has this weird fascination with the gods. I'll be interested to see where that goes and how it all ties together with Zeus and everything, but I'm very excited to see if that is a part of Thor 5 and how that all plays out. After credits numero 2, we are in Valhalla. And we see magical dust particles come in.
And we were like,
And we said, Jane Foster died a warrior's death in battle.
She did.
A Viking's
She
death
did.
in battle. And yeah, we didn't talk about that much, but we did cry. At least I cried.
We did cry. I cried.
Especially when Korg is like narrating about her and their
That
her
really
statue.
got me, yeah.
But luckily, she died in battle. So that means that she goes to Valhalla, which is the Norse mythology afterlife. And she meets Heimdall there because Heimdall also died in battle.
He did.
And yeah, so they're in Valhalla together, which, like, yes, they're dead, but I think that leaves the door open for them to be brought back into the story in some way.
Definitely.
And I'm very excited about that because I was very sad to only have Jane as like the Mighty Thor in just this one.
Yeah, that was
this one story.
So I'm glad that we got Idris back. We love Idris.
We love Idris.
So it's fun to see his character again and then seeing them interact. It was cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll show her the ropes or tell her what's going on.
We were watching Beyond the trailer. Grace mentioned that maybe like Loki is in Valhalla because he did die in battle.
Makes sense,
and
yeah.
that would make sense. Obviously not the variant that is in the TVA, but the one from like this timeline.
We love Loki.
We love Loki in this house.
Yeah.
I loved Thor's tattoos of with Loki. I just miss
They were
their
so
brotherly bond, and
Yeah.
I'd love for them to be reunited
Yeah.
in some way. Also, somebody on Twitter pointed out that he has like a list. One of his tattoos is a list of the people that he loves that have died. And so like obviously his like mom and dad and Loki and stuff are on there, but Tony and Natasha are on there.
That's really. I don't wanna talk about that. Let's not talk
So that is our review of Thor Love and Thunder. I think for me it was maybe like an 8.5 out of 10. I had a really great time watching it. I would love to watch it again. It's nothing necessarily too groundbreaking, but it's still a really fun time. And in terms of the Thor movies, I think maybe I still like Ragnarok a little bit more than this
Ragnarok
one.
was just so good that like I haven't met a single person that doesn't like Ragnarok. Not that I think anyone will dislike this movie, but yeah, this movie was so good. You just know going into a Thor movie you're gonna have a good time and it's gonna be funny and it's gonna be fun.
If you liked this video, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you want us to do any other reviews or anything else Marvel related, because you girls love Marvel.
We do.
We love the MCU. We love talking about it. We could talk about it forever, which is why we like filming these videos.
We have to like narrow down what we're gonna talk about so we ramble all the time, so.
I put out a new video every Monday, so look out for that, and have a good summer. Bye!
Oh my god, my butt is so sweaty.
Don't talk about your butt!
I'm not getting paid for this.
Yet.